Hi, good night. I hope that everyone is doing well. Now, the last recording I did was on the topic, the importance of you having a vision for your life. Now, tonight, I would like to speak on overcoming the various challenges that comes along when trying to accomplish your goals and your vision. Now, one thing that we do know is that we are going to be faced with various challenges. That's one thing we know. But we have to overcome them. And the question that I have for you is, how bad do you want it? How bad you want it is going to determine whether or not you're going to accomplish your vision. It's all about how bad you want it. If you want it really bad, trust me, you wouldn't sleep some nights to accomplish your vision. You would find a second job quick to accomplish your vision. The question is, how bad do you want it? We all have excuses, we all have reasons, but how bad do you want it? That is the question that you need to sit down and think about. Why do you really want to accomplish this goal? Why is this a vision for your life? How bad do you want it? How is it going to benefit your future? How happy it's going to make you? They're the questions that you have to ask yourself. But what we're going to do tonight, we're going to go over a few challenges that you may face. And trust me, there's a lot, but we're just going to go over a few. Finances. Finances is one. We know that for a fact, right? Comfort and fear. That's another one. Conflict. They are just a few. So let's start off with finances. Now we know money is scarce. That's one thing we know is money is scarce. Now, we all have various visions for our life. So finances would hit us differently, right? You may have someone who wants to go to school, but they don't have enough money to pay their school fee. So what that means is that, hey, you have to find another means of making money, right? When you have a break, maybe on the weekends, you could find a second job. Remember I said it's how bad you want it. Now, if you don't want it that bad, you ain't gonna go on nobody else's job on a Saturday and a Sunday. You ain't doing it. So it's how bad you want it. So if you want it that bad, you're gonna do what you gotta do to accomplish your vision. So you don't have sufficient funds and you want to go to school. So you could find a second job, or you could start selling stuff. At work, you could start selling snacks. You could start selling clothes. There are different things that you could do. And selling items may be your best choice because guess what? You have the extra time on your hands to study. Alright? So selling items is just marketing, posting your items. Persons are going to reach out to you. They either pick up, you deliver, and that's it. You know, with a second job, for sure, you know, you log down from 6 o'clock to 3 o'clock or 5 to 9, whatever hours you would be working on that second job. But you have to determine what you have to do. You may not have sufficient funds to start a business on the side. You may not have that startup. But another thing, what I would like to tell a lot of persons, starting up a business is not always expensive if you're starting up something small. Like for those who want to accomplish A and accomplish B and they need the extra funds, sometimes you could start something up at $50. You could go and buy a few snacks and flip that money, and before you know it, you're really bringing in money, you know? But anyway, that's it there. Another thing, sometimes you could cut back on certain expenditures. For example, lunch. Yes, that $10, $15 lunch every day, yeah, that money adds up. It does. So what you could start doing is making a little sandwich and carrying it to work. Or cooking and carrying the food that you had for dinner, for lunch, for the following day. That's an extra $10 that you're going to save. You can imagine you saving $50 every day. That adds up. You can put that $50 in for gas. You know what you want to do in life. You know what you want to accomplish. You know your vision. You know what you want. So with you knowing what you want, you can do what you have to do to make it happen. So we all have excuses. We all have reasons. Right? But are you going to allow those reasons and those excuses to hold you back? Are you? And even for some persons who want to start a certain business, and you know, your persons who they want a big time start. They don't want to start off small. But let me tell you, sometimes you have to start off small, and it's beauty in starting off small. Because when you start off small, certain things like you feel as if, okay, for sure this business is going to make a lot of money. This is going to be a hot seller. I know that for sure. You go and you invest $10,000 into that business, and come to find out things ain't really things. You thought you was going to be making way more money than this. You thought this was going to be hot seller. But guess what? If you had started off small with a little $100, $200 into the business, you would have seen that, hey, this ain't really selling like that. I have my marketing on deck, but this item just ain't really selling like that. But guess what? You may end up discovering that there's another item that's really a hot seller. There's another item that customers are coming to you asking you about. So you only invest $100, $200 into that business with a little just five items you're selling now, because you really don't have any money. So you start off with a small inventory. It'll be easy for you to start selling that item because you only invested $100, $200 into it, you know? So finances, we could talk long on finances, but the main thing is that sometimes we have to cut back on certain expenditures. Another thing is that sometimes we have to find a second job. We may have to start selling little items on the side. Sometimes we may need to budget our money more. That's the next thing. Some of us like to spend too much. Everything we see, we feel the need to buy. And the next thing, some of us too like run competition. You'll see your friends with a nice Louis bag. Y'all can go and spend that $1,500, $1,600 on that bag. Just to say y'all love a Louis bag too. Stay focused. Remember, we gotta stay focused. That's the next problem. In all honesty, you'll be amazed to know that that's another problem that a lot of persons have. They spend too much, they're not focused. And that's why I said, how bad do you want to accomplish that vision? How bad? Because if you really want to accomplish that vision, trust me, those Louis bags and those expensive jewelry ain't gonna move you, because you know that you're using your money for plan A, plan B. All right? So, like I said, finances, we could talk much longer on that topic, but we'll just move on. Let's just move on to comfort and fair, right? Comfort and fair. Now, another thing, a lot of us, we are comfortable in our position. And even when I say comfortable, in all honesty, we ain't really comfortable like that. But we make ourselves comfortable because we are afraid to make certain moves. We are afraid to make certain moves. Some of us are working a well-paid job, right? But in all honesty, you really don't want to stay on that job. There's something else that's burning inside your heart that you want to accomplish. There's something else that's really burning, a burning desire that you had for many years. And you want to branch out and accomplish that goal, accomplish that vision. But again, you're not sure whether or not that's going to succeed. So, you comfortable on that job. And for some of us, we ain't even making much money, but we making it happen. We making do. You understand? And you have a business, you have a goal, you have a vision, something that you really want to do, but you're afraid. You don't want to leave your job to start something else that may fail. And to be honest with you, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, you have to use common sense here, right? So you have a job. You already know what you want to do. Some things you have to start on the side. Now, when you already build up that business on the side and you feel comfortably with it, you already see the money that the potential money that you could make, and you already see the money that you're making. So in the event you finally decide to leave your job, you feel comfortable knowing that, hey, I already established this business. I already went through all the growing pains within this business. So I feel comfortable to leave now. Like, I could leave now. But again, you have to start. You can't just sit down and say, I want to do something, but I'm afraid to do it. No, you cannot do that. You have to start from somewhere. Whatever that burning desire is, you could do it on your spare time. Some have the money. Y'all have the finances. Y'all could really start that business up and let that run while you're working your 9-to-5 job. And yeah, at the same time, you want to sit inside the shop and you and really see our stuff running, because we all know we have crooked people. You have people who you hire them and they stealing. We all know that. But again, there are things that you could put in place to minimize that, right? So you could get your security cameras. You could have a tight inventory where every morning, every afternoon, you on the inventory. You have a good point of sale system, right? Have certain stuff locked where only you could enter it. So it's like there are ways in which you could minimize certain things, like employees stealing, right? So that's comfort, certain comfort that we have, and the fear. And then another thing, we got to remember that fear is of the devil. Fear is of the devil. So that is something that we really have to overcome. The fear is of the devil. And like I said again, a lot of times when something is burning within you, something that you want to do, and it's always fear that's holding you back, then you know for sure you have to overcome that fear. You know it. You don't want to die with that dream, with that vision that you never overcome, simply because you are fearful. There are ways to work around it. And like I said, sometimes, like I say, you have to use your head. You have a job, you want to start something else. It may not make sense for you to just leave your good, well-paying job and just work on your vision. You may need to start it off on the side, go through the growing pains, and when you feel comfortable that the business has already established to a certain level, then hey, you could leave your job. Comfortable, you could leave your job. All right? Another thing that we could speak about is conflict. Conflict is another topic. Conflict is another topic. You have persons who want to go off to school, but they're inside a relationship. They really love the person, but they're inside a relationship, and them going off to school and being inside a relationship, they really see that it's not going to work, or it's going to really be hard. And you honestly do have some persons who hold off their vision because they're inside a relationship. You have persons who do it all the time. They don't want to leave their relationship. They love this person. But this is the question. What if that relationship doesn't last? What if next year, next 2 years, next 5 years, you'll end up breaking up anyway? How are you going to feel? Knowing that that goal and that vision is still there and you never accomplish it. How are you going to feel? You're going to say, well, mother, I really should have done what I had to do from them. And within that 1 year, 2 years, 5 years period, all kind of things could have happened that even makes it more difficult for you to accomplish that goal. So that's something to sit down and think about. Really sit down and think about it. Are you and this person, you're going to still be together within 5 years? And then even if you all are still together for 5 years, are you going to be upset with that person? You may not come out and tell them, but in your mind, you sitting down saying, I could have accomplished this, but I stay with Joe, or I could accomplish this, but I stayed with Susie, and Susie still ain't making no sense. And look what Susie do to me. Look what Joe did to me. I should have left Joe, and I could have accomplished this. I could have done this, and look at me now, I'm suffering in life because I really should leave him. And like, you know, I want to see you a person who inside they really inside some relationships like this, and then some they want to go, but guess what? They sitting down thinking about the sacrifice that they made to stay inside this relationship. So they really ain't going nowhere. They are not going anywhere. Simply because they know they made certain major sacrifices. And then another thing. If this person really, really love you, they're going to stay. They're going to stay and they're going to be with you until you accomplish that goal. And sometimes it don't even have to be you going off to school. Sometimes you just need the support. Sometimes you need the support from your partner. Sometimes you need the support from your friends and family members. And then that's another thing. Sometimes we need to remember this. You have friends for a season. Not all friends are supposed to stay with you for the full time. Not all friends. Not all friends are friends until the very end. You know, and I'm not saying that you have friends and you just drop them like that, because no, that is not nice. You don't do stuff like that. You understand where I'm coming from? But the point is you outgrow some friendships. And you're still friends, you're still cool, but then you all just aren't how you used to be. Sometimes you may need to develop other friendships. Persons who are going where you want to go. Or persons who have already arrived to where you want to arrive. They're the ones who are going to be able to help you. They're going to be the ones who are going to be able to give you the support. They're going to be the one who's going to say, oh no, take this route. Don't do that. I did that before, and trust me, that was a failure. They just save you time and money. So it's very important to develop friendships with persons who are where you want to go. Trust me, it's very important. And sometimes, in terms of accessing those friendships, may not be so easy, but it's possible. Sometimes you may have to have friendships from afar. There may be someone on YouTube who share their journey and certain stuff. There are books there that can help you. Give you the support that you need. Persons write books on everything, a lot of things, so you could find it. If you want to find it, you could find it. And there are books there where persons could help give you the guidance and the comfort and the support that you need, you know? So just to wrap up everything, accomplishing your vision is not easy. The things that I listed are just a few, and we know that the list goes on and on. We could probably make a part B to this. Who knows? But the list goes on and on. But the question again is, how bad do you want it? And then another thing I would always tell persons, like I said in my other video, keep God close. Trust me, He's the key to everything. And yeah, you hear persons say this all the time, but trust me, try to do it with God, and you can see, you're going to see the difference. Develop a close relationship with Him. He see you working. He can make stuff happen. And especially if He put it on your heart to do, especially if this ain't something that you're just doing because your friend's doing. There's something that you want to do for yourself. Because guess what? God placed it on your heart for you to accomplish. He's going to make it happen, but you have to keep Him close, you know? So anyway, good night. I hope that this message has been an inspiration to those who are listening. So, good night.